Hi, everyone, and welcome to the 77th episode of the Unnamed Cop Show. We're happy you could make it to view us today, and we are currently in one of the coldest cold spells we've had in quite some time. So that's why Jim's bundled up here. And it's been very cold outside. Had ice in the driveway, actually.
Yes,
Yesterday.
I did too, at home.
We had a crash yesterday in the city, and someone claimed that they tried to stop, but there was ice in the roadway. So got to always be alert, even in Desert Hot Springs, for ice in the roadway. I'm Dan Bressler. I'm the commander for the Operations Division, Desert Hot Springs Police Department. To my right is Jim Knabb. Go ahead and say your title.
Still forget, you can't remember?
No, I can't.
I'm the Community Resource Specialist. And we have Aaron to your left.
Thanks, Jim.
Aaron Begley from,
Family Service Association, and I operate the Desert Hot Springs Senior Center. Jim, you were totally missed last time.
It's glad to be back. I noticed, Dan, that you didn't say that I was away at the beginning of the show, but you did make up for it at the end.
that's because Aaron kicked me and made me
You know,
mention your name.
I know you
There-
don't think of those types of things.
There were so many seniors that viewed the show, and they were like, where was Jim Knabb? Like,
It did feel
you're a favorite.
strange to not be here for the show.
Oh, we missed you. Very much.
Um,
And also, today, we have Officer Dan Clary with us, who's never been on the Unnamed Cop Show.
lucky.
Yeah, so we thought this was a good opportunity to introduce him on this venue. So Dan, welcome to our show.
Thank you.
We'll try to make this short and simple for you, because I know you have people to arrest. And also in the audience is his partner, Ryan Steinhaus, who we have had on the show before. And he would love to come on again, so maybe next week.
I'd love to have you on again, too.
Ryan's over there with almost a full beard. And when did you shave last, Ryan?
This morning.
This morning? Unbelievable. Anyway, I'd like to get started with talking a little bit about our special enforcement team. And tonight, our team is going to be making a presentation at council, so I thought it appropriate to have Dan on the show today. Dan, why don't you talk a little bit about your team? When were you formed, and what's you guys' purpose?
Okay. We are formed in October of this year under Chief Singer. Our team consists of 3 members. We have
It wasn't this year, it was
2012.
actually last year.
2012.
Okay.
It's okay.
He's nervous. First time.
Okay, go ahead. I won't let Jim interrupt
You
you.
want my
again.
nervous paperclip?
Yeah.
It kind of works.
It consists of 3 team members, myself, Officer Steinhaus, and Detective Mike Valenich, who is our acting supervisor of the team. We fall under, directly under Commander Bressler, who reviews our search warrants and our day-to-day operation. Our set team bridges the gap between patrol and detectives. We're the 3-prong approach.
And what approach is that?
Anytime patrol has an issue, like last month, we really focused on Stater Brothers and Vons and the jaywalking issue.
Right?
So when patrol guys are busy handling the day-to-day patrol calls, we're not a slave to the radio. We don't have the patrol calls. We can utilize our resources on Stater Brothers, Vons, and the jaywalking problem that we've had.
And what other things have you guys typically worked?
This month, we went out in Coachella and served an operation out in Coachella after the drive-by shooting on the highway patrol officers that happened earlier. We served 3 warrants in Coachella. We served a warrant last week on a drug house that we did a rollback off of a traffic stop where we got a large amount of narcotics. We did a search warrant and found more narcotics at the house.
And the same guy.
Correct. Same guy. Didn't learn his lesson out on bail. Went back. We did a bail enhancement, and hopefully he'll sit there until he awaits trial.
Be there for a while at least. Was there a message that you gave him the second time you arrested him within a week?
Yeah, that this isn't going to be tolerated in the city of Desert Hot Springs, and we now have the resource to deal with these kind of problems.
Typically, in a given month, how many arrests would you guys make? What kind of numbers do you have to report to us?
So since October, which is just a few months, our team has 83 arrests, most of which are felonies. 39 are drug-related, and Detective Valenich has written 4 gang enhancements. And
What's that? Explain to our crowd what gang enhancement is.
if you can prove that a subject is a gang member by definition, a common sign or symbol, 3 or more people committing crimes, there's a higher statute to the enhancement to the crime committed. So a armed robbery, you looked at 5, 10, or 15, you're sitting at a 20, you'd be looking at 20 years with the enhancement versus just the 5, 10, or 15 years off just the statute alone.
Okay, so if we can prove they are gang members by their actions over a period of time, then that enhances their prison sentence.
Correct.
Down the road. Okay, what's you guys' most recent deal that you're working on? What are you guys working on presently?
Currently present, we have 3 narcotics houses in the city of Desert Hot Springs, which we're actively watching and trying to build cases on, along with also the Stater Brothers and Vons, trying to improve our commercial areas.
Okay.
And the jaywalking, as of last week, we had a ped hit trying to cross from the bus stop. And so it's back on our radar that we need to actively make sure people are educated, and also using the enforcement tool of a ticket, that if you don't want to use the crosswalk, that we are out there and we will write tickets.
Okay, and Dan, since you haven't been on our show before, how long have you been a police officer in our city?
In Desert Hot Springs, I've been here almost 3 years. Prior to that, I was in the city of Cathedral City, which is right next door. I came up here on contract for about 6 months and didn't want to go back to Cathedral City and wanted this place to be my home.
You loved our city.
Correct.
Well, you guys are doing great work, and I won't keep you because there's more people out there for you to be dealing with. So thank you for coming on, and
you.
we appreciate what you're doing, and keep it up.
Appreciate it.
All right,
Thank
take
you,
care.
guys.
Thanks, Dan.
Be safe out there.
One of the nice things about the SET team is I get a lot of phone calls from people with anonymous tips, or even just outright direct tips about maybe drug dealing or activities that they feel are criminal in nature. And in the past, we really didn't have a lot of staffing to deal with things like that. We're actively answering calls and doing other things. With the SET team, they're able to fill that hole and take that stuff and actually investigate and follow that down to the end of the lead, if you will.
And the guys that are on that team were chosen because they're very proactive. So if we have a problem, they'll go out and take care of it. They don't mess around with it. They get right to it. The drug houses that they're watching, if you're currently in one, stand by, because we'll be visiting you shortly. Because that's what these guys do every day. They're kicking in doors and taking the baddest of our bad to jail. So good tool that we have in our city now. I want to give a shout out because I promised after the parade, this gentleman came up to me and told me about what he was working on and some of the things he's done. And Mr. Eddie Johnson, and he wanted me to shout out about they got a cruise night at Westfield in Palm Desert at the mall. And it's a car show, and they raise money for certain nonprofit efforts. And so I wanted to mention that. The one coming up is Saturday, February 9th, and it's being held at the Indian Wells Tennis Garden. And there's going to be hundreds of street rods and classics and muscle cars there. There's a contact number here for registration. It's 760-360-9798. So if you're interested in getting tickets to that or putting in a vehicle for that, contact Eddie and his group. Eddie does a lot of good things in town for the veterans, and we appreciate the effort he puts in to help those in need. So I wanted to throw that out there. Aaron, what do you have for us today? Welcome.
Thanks. Thanks. I have a few things that are going on at the senior center. We have tax appointments through AARP. They're free for senior citizens in Desert Hot Springs that are 60 years old or above. We have senior prom coming up on February 14th, so come on out and enjoy Valentine's Day with us. Hidden Harvest comes to the site, which is a free produce program for 60 and above, and their one was February 5th and the 19th. Our center will be closed on Monday, the 18th of February due to the holiday. And a shout out to AGA Insurance for sponsoring our birthday party that will be on February 1st. As always, if you want to see what's happening at the senior center, please give us a call at 329-6411, extension 213 or 211, to get on our emailing list for our senior moment. That's our monthly newsletter, so you can see everything that's happening, and you can come on down and visit us. And also, we mentioned how cold it was. The senior center is a warm center. So those seniors that are sitting around freezing, come mingle with friends, get involved in programming, and stay warm.
Can we go in there if we're cold?
Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Very good. It is a pleasant place. I've been in there a few times. It's a very welcoming environment, and the food is pretty good, and the management is fantastic. What else you got going there? How was have we reported on the parade yet?
I believe we did last show, which
We did last
was,
show.
yeah.
But you
it
got
was fantastic.
didn't you receive some type of recognition?
No trophy, just a certificate,
Can't believe that.
which we're very grateful for, but we wanted to bring it home. We didn't have any room for the props because seniors just wanted to be on the float, so
Like 70 or 80 people were on that float, right? And
it felt like it, but no, about 15 to 20.
they had the time of their lives.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have anything for Erin? Anything to throw out there for her?
You're doing
Any-
a great job.
Any issues involving seniors maybe you might want to touch on?
The seniors
While we're here.
also fall into the pedestrian safety.
Yes.
Often seniors don't drive, and so they'll take the bus to the grocery store. And when they get off the bus, we just want to remind you to use the crosswalk to get across the street. What we found in the past in some of the traffic accidents has been that the seniors will get off the bus and cross the street diagonally, which leaves you in the street longer than necessary, and it makes it difficult for you to see cars approaching from behind. So please use the crosswalks.
Yes, we had an incident that Officer Clary touched on the other night. An elderly female tried to cross Palm at night, and she was struck. And she was not in a crosswalk, and it was not a safe place to cross, and she was killed. We have one or two of these a year, and right now, as I warned you folks on the last show, that we would be out writing jaywalking tickets. Today alone, we've written about 15 jaywalking tickets. I have 2 officers out on Palm, and that is their sole entire duty today, is to write jaywalking tickets and inform the public that you've got to start using the crosswalk. If you're not, it's not safe on a street such as Palm with that much traffic. You got to remember 20,000 cars a day go through Palm and Two Bunch, the intersection. It's not a safe place to cross unless you're in the crosswalk or any of the other places along Palm. So please, please be careful out there. You may get a ticket. At worst, you're going to get hit.
And yes, it's unsafe for you, the pedestrian, but it's also unsafe for the vehicles. They're trying to swerve out of the way to avoid people constantly, and it's just a matter of time before there's something.
The poor guy the other night who struck the pedestrian felt terrible for him as well.
Yeah.
He has to live with that, and it wasn't pretty. And it's something that you really need to be aware of when you're out walking. Use the crosswalks. Be safe in doing so. What do you have for us as far as your crime prevention?
Well, we have some events coming up. Would you
That's
like
it.
to hear about those?
I actually
And-
would.
Whether you do or not, I think I'm going to
You're
share.
going to say it anyway, so
Yeah.
go ahead.
We have Junior Police Camp coming up March 25th, 26th, and 27th. That's a 3-day event for 3 hours, usually 9 to 12 o'clock. The age group is 8 to 11 years old. The kids will be out on spring break that week. And it's kind of a mentoring program for kids that they can come, and we do some different activities. Just mentor them and try to reward the good kids actually at some of the schools with something to do over spring break, and just let them see who we are and kind of why we do things. And it's always a good turnout. We try to limit the campers to 20 just so we can spend that quality time with them. So I encourage you to get your application in early. The applications should be out today or tomorrow. You can come to the police department and pick them up. You must return the applications to me at the police department. Don't give them back to your teacher. Last year, we had kids showing up, said they turned the application into teachers, and we never got them. So we were unprepared for the extra amount of kids that we had. So The other thing is the Community Police Academy. We do that twice a year. That's an 8-week, 1 night a week event. That will start March 5th and run through April 30th. What is that? I think that's Tuesday night, from 6 to 9 o'clock. And we'll be doing that at the Henry Lozano Center at Tedesco Park. That's a great opportunity for anybody that wants to learn about law enforcement, district attorney's office, just the criminal justice system in general, as to how things go. You know, what are we doing when we're out to patrol, and what was the academy like? What happens to a crook after we arrest them and they go to the district attorney's office? What is sentencing like? What kind of weapons do we use? All those types of things, use of force. So it's really informative. We end it on the last night with a potluck, and we ask previous graduates to come as well, so that's always fun. We take some pictures, get certificates. There is no cost to the class. It is for those 18 and older. We will allow 16 to 17-year-olds in with a guardian or a parent.
Okay.
You do have to apply for that. You can go online to the City of Desert Hot Springs and get the app there, or call me, come to the police department, we'll get you one. Another event that's coming up Saturday, April 20th from 9 to 3 at the Boys and Girls Club and Health and Wellness Center is the Day of the Child and the Health and Wellness Festival. And that will be at the Health and Wellness, the new Health and Wellness Center, right across from the high school. So that should be a fun time as well. So as far as events, what? Go ahead.
That's Saturday, the 20th?
Yes, April 20th.
Day of the Child and Health and Wellness Festival.
I don't know much more about the Health and Wellness Festival part.
Okay.
The Day of the Child we've done before, or participated in before, as some of you may remember, at the Kmart parking lot.
Okay.
And it's kind of geared towards child safety and things like that. I believe it's May 25th is the Missing Child Awareness Day, so that's coming up too, and I'll talk more about that on the next class. But a lot of good activities coming up.
Okay. We want to talk a little bit about parking your cars at some of our hotels and spas.
Yes.
But we'll get to that in just a second. Aaron, you got an issue coming up at council tonight. You're going to present. Is that correct, or no?
I'm not presenting it, but city staff is. It's to extend FSA's contract to continue the operation of the senior center for 1 year, to make it, the city's process is usually a 3-year contract, and ours is 2. So we're hoping a good 5-0 vote for that one to continue for another year.
That would be very nice. A vote of appreciation for what you guys have done over there. I know the folks are very happy. Will they be packing the building today for the council meeting?
You know that it's so, I didn't have a set time. Usually when I have a presentation or a public comment, they know that they can get in, get out, and get
Right.
back home safe. So this one it's just unknown when it's going to be discussed, but I'm sure we will have some supporters in the house.
So for those people that maybe have just moved into the city, what services do you offer?
Family Service Association is a large nonprofit housed in Moreno Valley, but they stretch to the high desert, Desert Hot Springs, Cathedral City, all the way to Riverside. And we do mental health, we do childcare, we do senior citizens, senior centers, community centers, just a gamut of
And
services.
at our senior center, which is right here next to the Carl May Center where council meets, above the police department,
And you can get there because there's signs out now.
there are signs
You
out
saw
now.
the street signs.
I know, I see you serve lunch. Is there-
Monday through Friday at 11:30 a.m. A $3 donation if you're 60 plus is
It's a deal, folks.
is suggested.
That's a real good deal.
So if you can't afford it, you can still come and eat at the senior center.
Absolutely, we will
Okay.
feed you.
Okay.
We missed you on Saturday for Build a Playground at the Health
Yes,
and
I
Wellness.
was out of town.
You're now on the spot.
Yes.
We all had to be there.
It was a fantastic community event.
Yes, it was. It was fun, putting that playground together, and now we can go back there and say that we put the
Put part
slide
of the-
up or
put
the
part of the
ladder.
Wish I
Playground
could have
up.
been there, but
I know you would have been there
yes.
if you could have. Speaking of the seniors, there's a gentleman named John who's every day is over at the senior center, helps out. He's amazing.
John Spratley.
John Spratley. I love everything about John except his jokes. They're horrible. So here's one. This in honor of John. This is the kind of jokes he tells. Okay, what did the policeman say to his belly button?
What did he say?
You're under a vest.
He would love that one. That
He
would
would
crack
love
him
that.
up, and he would tell 40 people in one day.
So John, we love what you do over there, and even though we don't care for your jokes much, but anyways, I want to get to the most wanted. We do have lots more things to talk about, so we need to talk fast.
Yeah.
Our most wanted this month is going to be a return appearance by Mr. Holguin, because we do want him to turn himself in, or someone to give us a call, let us know where he's at, so nobody gets hurt in this deal. His last name is Holguin, Holguin. His first name is Noe, Noe. He is a Hispanic male. His birth date is 8/4/91. He's 5'9", 160 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. He's wanted on a variety of charges. He's got a tattoo on his hand that says, it looks like it's SUR. And he's got other tattoos on him, tattoo by his eye. He's wanted on several charges. He's considered armed and dangerous. So Noe, give yourself up so we can put an end to this, and you can take care of your cases. So his picture should be up on the screen. If you know where he's at, give us a call. You can be anonymous, which leads me into, I also wanted to talk about Crime Stoppers real quick. Where's my Crime Stoppers sheet? Crime Stoppers is a nonprofit organization in the Coachella Valley. They're actually nationwide, and they're called Valley Crime Stoppers. You can find them on the web. Their phone number, write this one down, is 341-STOP. 341-STOP. It's a 760 area code. You can call them, be completely anonymous, and you can let them know if you're aware of serious crime occurring or a serious crime that has occurred, who might be responsible for that. If you live next door to a drug house and you're afraid to call or have the police come to your house, you can call Crime Stoppers. They're a great organization. They give cash rewards. Every month we have a meeting with them, and we dole out cash to people who've called and turned in people who need to go to jail. So I just wanted to give a shout out to Crime Stoppers and thank them also for what they do, because they serve a very valuable purpose in the Valley. And it's a really good place to call if you don't know who else to call, and you want to get some people that need to be in jail.
And that is totally anonymous. You'll be assigned a PIN number, and that's how they will keep track of you.
Right.
Did you know that
Exactly.
we also offer anonymous tips on our website?
Why don't you touch on that real quick?
I'm just touching on it right now.
Do it.
You can tip anonymously on our website. Just go to www.cityofdhs.org and go to the police department portion of the website under departments, and you will see the anonymous tips. There's also an app you can load on your phone and do it that way if you like, and it is anonymous.
Okay.
Same type of thing. So there's a bunch of ways that you can help us to help you.
Do you have a dumbest criminal for us today?
My segment is back. I'm here.
All right.
I have a couple free if we have time for them. Let's see. All right.
Oh, welcome to the mayor for stopping in and saying hi.
Let's see. Let's pick one here. Police arrest teen thief by following trail of Cheetos to his front door.
Okay.
So a
Fascinating.
thief is worth his salt. Any thief worth his salt knows a clean getaway is absolutely essential, right? Well, apparently this South Carolina teen botched a robbery after stealing food and beer and stuff like that, but apparently there was a tear in the Cheeto bag. Once they realized there was Cheetos in the home that he was in, they canvassed the neighborhood and found Cheetos on this thief's front porch. And upon further investigation, found all the stolen items with the teenager in his room. And he was taken into custody and booked on second-degree burglary. And although reports don't confirm this, it's a safe bet his fingers were orange too.
Awesome.
That was a bad joke. thieves will steal anything.
Yes,
right?
they will.
They will.
If
I
it's
think
not
I've shared
nailed
the story
down,
in
and
the
they'll-
past about a neighbor of mine who it was a new house, and there was a carpet truck out front which looked totally normal. However, they were actually stealing the carpet from the home. They were not putting the carpet in. So they will take anything, and when it looks normal, the neighbors don't call because, I mean, who would think of that, right? So this woman returns home from work to find her driveway stolen. Apparently, the neighbor saw these workmen removing bricks from her driveway, didn't think anything about it, thought she was getting a new one. She returns home at night and thinks her driveway's a little bit bumpy, and upon further investigation discovers her bricks are missing. The two thieves made a bad mistake, though. They came back 2 days later for the remaining bricks, and the neighbors were onto them by that time and did call police, and they were arrested.
They couldn't leave well enough alone, could
Not
they?
very bright.
Couple bricks short of a full
Yes.
load.
Let's see. And I won't touch on all the details of this one. Drug courier loses $20,000, then asks the Tucson Police Department for an excuse note because he was afraid the cartel was going to kill him. They later found the money once they investigated this in his suitcase and another portion at home. He actually had it, but
He wanted the note,
he wanted a note to get out of trouble.
so he didn't get called back down south to get
Exactly.
to meet his maker.
So not too bright. Another
Wow.
one, a burglar in Springtown, Texas, gets busted by the homeowners, but he calls because they had him held up at gunpoint, and he called for help. So maybe that was a smart burglar. I don't know, because as we saw in the news recently, another burglar wasn't so lucky when he tried to enter a armed homeowner's house. And the last one I have here is Spider-Man is busted for mugging a woman, and you'll never guess how he got caught.
He had Cheetos.
He did not have Cheetos, although he was wearing red and blue. He had a full Spider-Man costume on, and they found him nearby in the neighborhood. It wasn't too hard, and when they asked him, why he had this thing on, he just said it was part of his disguise.
Spider-Man. If you're going to commit a crime, don't wear a
I don't know.
Spider-Man suit.
That one just kind of cracked me up, but so.
Well, those are excellent, and I'm glad that section has returned to the show.
Yes.
I want to. I think we might be almost ending the show. Wait, we still need to. Will you talk about the hotel break-ins
We have plenty of time.
at the cars that are getting broken into
I can do that.
on occasion? Why don't you?
On occasion, we are still having some burglaries, and particularly vehicle burglaries. And, it goes to say, no matter where you're at, if you're going to leave your car for any length of time, take all your valuables out of the car.
Correct.
Minimally, put them in the trunk and take them out of sight, but it's better just to take them in with you, even if you're at a hotel. They generally have a safe or something like that, or if you're going to go back out the next day to the car, have a bag where you take stuff in and bring it back out. It just doesn't take much to smash a car window and find yourself, missing something important. However, like some of these thieves we see, they will break into your car for a cheap pair of sunglasses or, things that you wouldn't think are very valuable, but they'll do it. It's better to avoid having to file insurance claim and just go through the hassle of doing it just by taking your stuff. I still swear by the club or a similar device to lock your steering wheel or brake pedal is just a deterrent that maybe will send them to the next car and leave yours alone. So very inexpensive thing that you can do.
Yes, and I know we give this message often, but if you see something suspicious and you see some kids or see anyone breaking into a car, please call us. We had an incident again a few nights ago where someone reported their car broken into and somebody had witnessed it and they had a description of the people who did it, but they didn't call us until 4 hours after the fact, which makes it a little bit difficult for us to track them down. You would be amazed how fast we can get to a location in this city. If you just let us know something's going on, we can get there pretty quickly, and we catch a lot of people. But 4 hours later is awfully tough.
Right. I just remind everybody, you're not bothering us by calling. If it's suspicious, anything at all, please call. You're not going to get into trouble. If maybe there was some reason you might have called another number or something else, they'll let you know. Live and learn. Rather have you call and be safe and catch these guys than wait 4 hours. So if you have any questions on that, feel free to call me. We can discuss it in depth.
Okay. Did you have anything else, Aaron?
I think I covered my portion.
Okay.
Thank you.
I want to briefly end with something that still on all of our minds, the Newtown incident at the elementary school. And unfortunately, only very few of these incidents happen, but when they do, they're devastating. I got a message to give to the public in situations like this, and the message is that the public needs to be reminded that the police are the public and the public are the police. This country often forgets that police officers are merely paid members of the public who perform duties that are incumbent on every citizen. It is incumbent upon you to call if you see something. You can't always depend on the police. In the case of every active shooter, which is the case that happened in Aurora and in Newtown, in case of active shooter, before one shot is fired, these folks dream, draw, write, discuss, Twitter, plan, gather, purchase, steal, construct, practice, dress, pack, load, transport, and approach. Quite often, these actions, when performed by a future shooter, are disconcerting, even without the witness knowing their context. Many lives have been saved because someone saw something and said something to the police. These folks take a lot of time to prepare for these types of incidents, and they oftentimes will broadcast what they're doing. It's incumbent upon all of us to recognize that maybe something's wrong, give us a call, and it's usually nothing, but you never know when you may save a life or 10 lives or 20 lives. So please, folks out there, don't depend on us to solve all the problems of society. Give us a call, write down license plates, and participate in this effort. That's all I have for today. Jim, do you have anything to close?
That's all I have too.
Our time is up. Thank you for coming back. We did miss you.
Thank you.
We did.
Did you have good holidays?
I did.
Good.
And you?
Yes.
Yeah.
And, we forgot one thing, my gift. You usually bring us gifts.
You
Nothing. You got nothing.
can have a squirt of this.
Awesome. Perel's hand sanitizer.
Very nice.
It is terrible flu season, so that could be a good gift.
That's right. It may keep us from getting sick. Well, thank you for that.
Our final tip is wash your hands.
That's right.
Okay, folks,
2 minutes.
I think we've had enough. I think you've probably had enough, so we're going to sign off. And thank you for watching, and be safe out there. Don't jaywalk, and we'll see you next month.
Stay warm.
Bye.
Bye.